Hi, and welcome to Reflect as part of Slowdown September with Yoga Borne. So this was Saturday's practice. But on my personal reflection, I found I needed a little bit of space and a little bit of time on Saturday, and on Friday evening as well. So my intention was to record this on Friday evening or Saturday morning. And I'm reflecting, thinking that I am loving Slowdown September. I'm blown away by how many people have subscribed, who've liked the practices, who've sent lovely messages, about the idea of Slowdown September and how much they're enjoying it. But maybe I hadn't actually slowed down too much myself. So maybe I'd put quite a bit of pressure on myself with this. And the other commitments of running Yoga Borne. And I just needed to pause. So that's what I did on Friday night. And on Saturday, had a wonderful time with my family, which was really nourishing and exactly what I needed, actually. So I guess my reflection question, or one of maybe, for you would be, how have you spent your weekend? Or how have you spent today? What will you be doing tomorrow? And do you feel that there's been time and space for you to nourish yourself? So have you taken care of you? Maybe that's, a 3 minutes listening to one of the restful reads on here. Maybe that's 30 minutes self-practice, or a guided yoga practice. Maybe you visited the studio. Maybe you've been for a walk. So we all have different ideas of what is nourishing for us and what kind of brings us joy, makes our heart sing. We all have different lives, so we'll all have a different amount of time in which we feel that we might have to nourish ourselves. But at the very least, have you taken a couple of minutes just for you? And the word self-care is one that I still do use, and it's one that I have used in the past. But in recent discussion and some training that I've been going through, we've been talking about the word self-care and kind of what connotations does that bring, what thoughts does that bring to people's minds, and how do we define that? And sometimes self-care, it might feel a little bit like, if you haven't really had that time to yourself, then we're saying, well, you're just not taking care of yourself. And that's how it might feel to people. So I'm trying to move away a little bit from that word or that phrase, self-care. It became a bit of a buzzword as well, like a lot of things can in the health and wellness industry. And lose some of its value or some of its meaning. So maybe it's just thinking about, have I nourished myself? How have I nourished myself? And that's in different ways, right? So, that's what food have I eaten? Who have I spent my time with? Have I nourished my mind? Have I rested my mind? What have I been allowing to come into my mind? What thoughts have I been thinking? Have I nourished my body with movement, or perhaps it was stillness that the body was craving? And we're only about a week away from the autumn equinox now. And that turning of the wheel into this season of pause, reflect, and essentially kind of letting go a little bit. So nature beautifully demonstrates how she does that with grace and ease. And for me, spring and autumn are very much times when I do pause and reflect and kind of think to myself, what is bringing me joy? Who's bringing me joy? And where might I need to change these things? So that was one of our reflect questions from last week. Maybe as part of this reflection exercise now, you come back to those questions. So it can be really interesting. It's only been a week's time, but maybe how we felt a week ago. Do we feel that way now? Have things changed? You know, we all know things can change in a heartbeat. And it can be even more interesting to keep our notes from season to season and again come back and reflect on them and think, okay, yes, I still feel that way, or okay, yeah, I didn't really get around to doing much about that. For me, there's certainly some things that I need to let go of as I move into autumn. And there's situations or perhaps people that have kind of been heavy for me over the past year, if not longer in some cases. And I'm feeling called to, I'm feeling drawn, I'm feeling reassured that it's okay, just with kindness, with compassion, just to let some things go. So there's plenty of other things that I could talk about, but this is just a short, sweet reflection exercise. And maybe it becomes a habit. I think it's particularly nice of an evening, and especially as we're kind of getting into slowly darker evenings. Maybe one evening a week is your dedicated reflection time. Every evening, if we're not a journaler or a writer or a reflector, particularly, may seem a little bit much. It might even be that, you know, things just come to the mind in the day. You have a little notepad, you jot it down, and then when you've got more time, you can sit and unpick that a little bit. A Sunday night can sometimes feel quite good to do that. So maybe this is right, that this piece is going out now on a Sunday night rather than its original schedule of Saturday. I feel like Sunday night has that end to the weekend, beginning of new week feeling for some of us, not for everyone. So, you know, as I already said, everybody is different, everybody is unique, and that's how it should be. So whatever you feel works for you, what nourishes you? Have you got time to just pause and reflect? The answer's no. I'm not going to say make time. That's a statement that I used to hear quite a lot at university, where I was actually doing a design course, and I so often wanted to say, well, what do I just get my sewing machine out and stitch some time together? So it's not making time, is it? You know, but it's dedicating time, it's scheduling time. So at the moments when we maybe schedule our week and think, oh my gosh, there is so much on, and believe me, I think that to myself every week, then it's like, okay, there is, but actually, how am I going to get all of this done? By taking care of myself. And how do I do that? I need some time to just dedicate a little portion of time per day, becomes like a habit. Like I said, it could be 3 minutes listening to a restful read if that's what works for you. And maybe you reflect on which of the practices you have enjoyed. Feel free to let us know in the comments, and we can look at more of those practices. Maybe it's a different practice on a different day. That's definitely how it feels for me at the moment. That some days I need to move my body a little bit. Other days I need a bit more stillness, but my mind is busy. So I need something to focus the mind, be mindful, restful reads, breathe deeply. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for being here. We're just over halfway into our Slowdown September. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found some benefit. We're here for you. Let us know if we can help you, if we can serve you in any way. Take good care of you. Bye for now.